Hello everyone, welcome to the video on conjunctions and interjections. Those are the two major types or parts of speech under closed class type, class category or structure words. Conjunctions. First, let us go to conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that are used to join together different parts of a sentence. The main function it is about joining conjunctions. They are mainly used to join together different parts of a sentence. Let us see how they function in a sentence and how important they are. First example, we study and we play. Here, two different sentences. If you do not have that conjunction, definitely we are talking about conjunctions and these are marked in red here for easy identification. You can easily identify that from this file now. We study and we play. Here, if you do not have that conjunction and is the conjunction in that sentence. If you do not have it there, you have to end by a full stop after we study. After study, you have to full stop, put a full stop, and then again you have to start a new sentence saying, mentioning we play. So those two sentences, we will have two different sentences if you do not join that both that different ideas with the same with the conjunction. That is again, it is about the same subject we are talking, and it is very good that you join those using a conjunction. So whenever it is needed, we can have that kind of an easy way of mentioning or a joining and talking about the event without having unlikely break in between. Boys and girls, that is definitely not a sentence, but different parts, different words, but you can join them. You can mention them together using the conjunction and. We play, but they do not enjoy. They play, but they do not enjoy it. Another way of saying they play. It is about mentioning a contrast. We will come across the categorization once we go uh, more details. That is, we play, but they play, but they do not enjoy it. That is about the contrast. They play. So people who are playing, we expect them to enjoy that, but they do not enjoy. So, but is the conjunction, suitable conjunction there. Another one. It is about giving you an alternative, a choice. They can play or study. Choices are there. So they can play or study or also another conjunction. Otherwise, you have to say there like they can play, full stop, they can study. Instead of that, with just joining the with the or, you can mention. That is the things that are applicable to same subject. There is the subject in that sentence. So that possibility, those two possibilities are available for them. Those two choices are available. They can play or study. So there is no need to break and repeat it with the beginning again. Repeat it with the subject, as they can play full stop and they can study. No need of that, because we have conjunction as a type of category of word which can join together different parts of a sentence or phrases, whatever it may be. And types of conjunctions, mainly we have three main categories, main types. This one is coordinating conjunction, the second main type is subordinating conjunction, and the third one is correlative conjunction. Under that, we will look at different conjunctions in English, available in English, as examples itself. Example. Okay. So coordinating. Coordination as a common idea, you see, is join names of ideas, things, phrases, and clauses that enjoy equal status in a sentence. Coordination as a function itself means you are coordinating things. You're making things in an organized way. Let us see. Names of ideas, things, phrases, and clauses that enjoy equal status in a sentence. So now sometimes we talk about coordinating uh, an event, a course. Then you have an equal, that is again, if it is an event, that is also the whole people connected with that, or the equipments or facilities connected with that, all that are in one way or other equally important in its own sense. If you think about a course getting coordinated, there also the same thing happens. So one course as a whole, you coordinate. Another course as a whole, irrespective of the year-wise differences, batch-wise difference, but that course as a whole that has some common feature or an equal status. In that way, coordination as a function, you can think and then you can understand the way it has its own importance in its functioning in a sentence, or the joining purpose, that is equal status, those things that the ideas or names, things, phrases, those enjoy equal status in a sentence. We will get more a clear picture once we look at the examples. There are 7 coordinating conjunctions in English. This is a very important. It's very important to note down. Coordinating conjunction, you cannot opt randomly. Those are 7 well-defined 7 coordinating conjunction. You don't have to think more about it. 7 of those you just learn and get the examples for each. First one is for, that represents a reason. We know even without categorizing that for, we always talk about to use that to represent some reason, to talk about some reason. Let us take the example: the room will be locked, for I will be away. What's the reason for that room to be locked? Because the person will be away. I'll be away. So the room will be locked, for I will be away. That is the way you represent the reason in a connected way. That is again a coordination is there between the events. One is not something completely away or out of that connection with the other one. The person is away, and that is the reason why it's not about another room or another person's room, but about the person. So the person under mention or the subject talks about his or her being away, and the reason why the room is locked is that itself. So here you connect that and you get the reason in between. Next type is and. They join similar parts. Here we saw in the beginning, but that is randomly selected. Here we are categorizing that and join similar parts. We saw the same examples. We study and we play. Yes, join similar parts. A subject, a verb, a subject, a verb. So the same way of structuring, and they join the similar parts. This joins the similar parts, like and joins the similar kind of parts of the sentence. Boys and girls. Noun with another noun that joins. So and as the another type of coordination. It goes for the coordination between these two same types of similar parts, similar kind of parts in a sentence or a phrase. Third one, it is nor. No, join similar negative parts. Let's take the example, similar negative parts. Here is positive, and we study, we play. Both, it's about positive affirmation it is. Next, nor is about similar negative parts that is joining. That joins similar negative parts. How does it happen? They do not study, nor they do not play. They do not study, nor they do not play. They do not study, nor they do not play. So this is about negative things, that is stating in a negative way. Something is not done, another thing is not done. So in between you have a connective. But it represents a contrast. So that is that example already we have seen. They play, but they do not enjoy it. How does it become a contrast? As I mentioned already, they play. So we expect the persons who play to enjoy it, but they do not enjoy it. So, but is the conjunction in this part that represents a contrast, a kind of irony, a kind of mismatch. So that is a bit about a contrast, and but serves as the suitable coordinating conjunction there. Now, Or is another one. Represents an alternative. Alternative, it's about the choice. See, already we have come across this example. They can play or study. They can play. Full stop. They can study. Not needed. They can play or study. That or stands as the suitable preposition, sorry, conjunction, joining part that serves as an alternative in this sentence. Alternative for the subject. Okay. Yes. Yes, then yet as the next type of coordinating conjunction, that yet represents exceptions or contrast. Again, a contrast can be mentioned, exception can be mentioned. They play, yet they study. That also can be a contrast. See, a person or the persons who are involved in playing enjoyment, we do not expect them to study much sometimes, maybe very uh, debatable notion still. Sometimes it is about an exception, so that yet they study, they play, yet they study. There is no problem with that playing and studying. They both go together, which do not often. That is all. It's about the exception. We feel like if you want, you can assert it as an exception or contrast. And again, next last type of coordinating conjunction is so. So represents consequences, the way an impact or the effect of something. They study, so they do well. They study, so they do well. The reason, that's what is the consequence of, or the what is the effect of their studying well. Because of that, they do well. So that is the way you have all the seven coordinating conjunctions functioning in different parts. Functioning, the main functioning, it's about joining. Okay, so the second type, subordinating conjunctions. The definition goes like join the dependent or subordinate clause to the main clause. It's mainly used in clauses. The purpose is joining itself, but mainly used in clauses. And it subordinates, subordinating conjunction. The name itself mentions about doing, so see, dependent or subordinate clause that is highly connected. Let's take the examples. First, if Raju will come if he is invited. Raju will come if he is invited. So this person, he will come. How it is used as a subordinating the clause. That part has dependent clause here. The whole sentence is, and it's not a simple sentence. It's about a clause. We can see the clause which is dependent on the main part. Raju will come, but a dependency is if he is invited is not at all it cannot stand alone. It's dependent on the main part, main clause. So here, if is the joining, if helps to join these two together. Okay, that. I know that you are my uncle. I know that you are my uncle. So that is there as the connective there in this sentence. Actually, this clause, dependent clause, is connected with the main clause, with using this conjunction itself. What? Ritha did what she was asked to do. What is the conjunction there? Ritha did what she was asked to do. She was asked to do, depending on the main part. And the man who sold the computer is an engineer. If you remove this connective, that loses it or it becomes awkward. You just think about or try to read that without the conjunction here. The man sold the computer is an engineer will never give proper structured a sentence or a clause. Okay. Yes. Then while, get ready. While I eat my lunch. Get ready while I eat my lunch. So these events are connected. A person tells someone to be ready or to get ready while I eat my lunch. So these events are connected. The persons are connecting the events, and while is very important as a connective subordinate conjunction there. It has its own function there. Since I could not come there, since I have a meeting. The reason is given why the person could not come. since the person has a meeting. So this is the way you get a reason and a connective, you connect the events. The reason why the person couldn't come because the person has to attend a meeting. That's all. And because, another way of giving. Meena cannot attend the class because she has a fever. These are connected and you have a dependency. One part is dependent, subordinate. So the dependent clause to the main clause. Only with the connective you can do it properly well. Meena cannot attend the class, full stop. She has a fever. One is the reason for the other. So because is definitely a suitable conjunction there. After. Meet me after the class is over. So one person is told to meet another one only after the class is over. So these two events are connected. If you do not have after here, the class is over. It becomes another proper sentence. But how will you connect these events or these two ideas? So this is the way it becomes very necessary and very suitable as a joining part in different, mainly in subordinate or dependent clauses. Next, before. You can meet me before the class begins. You can meet me before the class begins. Again, these two the main clause and the subordinate clause. How it is connected, you can see it here. Till Raju lived in Delhi till he got his present job. Raju lived in Delhi till he got his present job. Here, these two events are connected only with this in a suitable way, with this conjunction. Until, wait until the show ends. Until the show ends. Wait, you wait. It's an order. But you wait until the show ends. Here, until serves as a kind of joining in between these two ideas. Wait. Person is told to wait. Until when? Until the show ends. Otherwise, you do not have a connection in between. That's all with that part. And third one is very familiar. We are familiar with this kind of usage. Sometimes we mention things using this. But correlative conjunction, correlative. And they're always used as a pair. You should be very careful while writing down this. It's an ellipsis that is used. You cannot put too many dots in between. But as an approved punctuation mark, that is ellipsis, both and. Here you can take the example and become very clear about that. So you should you should opt for both economics and BCom. You should opt for both economics and BCom. See why this ellipsis occurs when you write down this separately. In between something comes. You should opt for both economics and BCom. That means two things, two ideas, two names. Now something is there, and one comes in between this both and after that you mention the other. This is the usual way of talking about or using both and in a sentence. So correlative, they are used in pair or as a pair. That's why they are relative. They are related in that usage, that kind of a usage. Next step, either or. Either or. Yeah, Sita can pick either apple or orange from the basket. Sita can pick either apple or orange. See again, for filling that ellipse, that gap, you have something in between. And the next part comes after. Usually this is the way of using such correlative conjunctions. So this is about the options. That's most often this is either or. It's about option, both and. Again about see, in that case this is necessary that both should be taken. In this case either one or the other. That's all. Either apple or orange, not both together. That's why we have two different types. Here it's necessary that you should opt for both economics and BCom. The person should opt not on this one as well as this one. Here it's about either apple or orange, not both together. And next you can see here neither Ali nor Gitti is willing to eat the fruit. Here not none of them persons are mentioned. Here again, neither nor. In between, a name comes. Neither Ali nor Giti is willing to. That is, persons are mentioned, but the verb is here because Ali is not willing, Geeti is not willing. That is the idea. So neither, this is not about both of them are willing, are not willing. This is about neither Ali nor Geeti. So this usage is very important. When you write down the example, you should note down immediately after this is a singular verb that is used. Next one is very familiar for us. Not only, but also. She's not only a teacher but also a painter. To talk about some kinds of something which is not only but also talks about a person, some subject, and the capabilities about the teaching as well as painting. Both is possible. Not only a teacher but also a painter. Okay. Whether to eat or pack our food home. Whether to eat or pack our food home. In between, something has to be there. Whether to eat or pack our food home depends on when we return from the work. That other part you can just leave it here. Whether to eat or pack, the option. So in between something is to be mentioned, to eat or pack. That is the way you have this correlative conjunctions functioning in a sentence. Okay, so this is all about conjunction, mainly three major kinds, that is coordinating, the second one subordinating, and third one correlative. For correlative conjunctions you can find a lot, many, but only here this coordinating we defined under 7 categories, as those are fixed, and the other one also you can find a lot in different subordinating clauses. That's all with the conjunctions. And the last type of parts of speech, interjection. Let us just go back to our major first part of this table. It's about the parts of speech, sentence getting defined, and how the categorization of words becomes very important here. Open class category, noun, verb, adjective, adverbs we told about, and the under closed class or structure words we have pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjection. We are going to talk about these one as over, and in this session itself I would like to mention interjections, which is a very simple category. So that also comes under, interjections also come under closed class type or the structure word type. Let us go. Interjections. Interjections are words that express certain emotions and feelings such as surprise, fear, anger, love, and joy. Certain words which are very casually we use it, but they have their own purpose. Especially interjections are used in exclamatory sentences. When we come across sentence types, we will see for major basic sentence types, and one among that is exclamatory sentence. In that sentence, we can make use of these interjections, which are used to express our sudden emotions and feelings, not just positive but also negative, not positive as well as negative we can refer using this. That is, surprise is something very positive, fear not really positive, anger not positive, but and love and joy, very positive emotions. So emotions and feelings are of mixed kind. Here, according to that emotion, we have to choose the interjections. That's all. Let us see, such expressions are followed by an exclamation mark. That is it. An exclamation mark to show that emotion, that impact, or the expression to assert its importance, relevance to the person who is talking, or the person who mentions that. We can use an exclamation mark in between. See, common interjections can be wow, hooray, oosh, alas, oops. But we cannot use it in a very casual fashion, like anything can be opted here and there. No. according to the emotions and feelings, whether it's positive or negative. Some are very negative, some are very positive. We have to choose in between. Wow, that's a nice dress. So something it mentions about a very positive thing. So wow also suitable preposition. Oops, I stepped on your back. It's about causing some difficulty to another person. So you can never say, wow, I stepped on your back. It's wrong. It's wrong. So to choose that suitable interjection as with any other part of speech is very important. I stepped on your back. That's very negative an event. So obviously a negative interjection, not in negative, but something that shows that that event in connection with some negative feeling should be there. Alas, Roman lost his watch. Hurrah is a preposition, sorry, interjection that talks, that talks about the happiness. Never you can say, hooray, Roman lost his watch. It's wrong. So, alas, it's about oof. Sorry about him. Feel sorry for him. Alas. With that, you can mention the feeling for the person who lost his watch. That's the way you can choose that interjection, suitable interjections according to the idea that you mentioned, the kind of feeling or the kind of emotion that you're mentioning. Okay, sometimes it can be positive, like surprise, laugh, joy, or sometimes very uncomfortable events like fear, anger, something connected with fear or anger. You can choose it accordingly. That's all with the interjection. So these are the major parts of speech, and the first one under open class words we saw four of them, and in the under closed class we have another four, which are under closed class we saw pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and the last one interjection. With that we stop the discussion on parts of speech. Thank you so much for listening.